Hello. Paint na tayo. Mark this. Gawin natin yung gitna. Hello guys, thanks for watching. Chat kayo pag may question kayo.
This is just water.
Thanks, Nico. Ang title nito, IDLIP. Kasi, natutulog siya sa jeep. Ay, sa jeep. Sa tricycle. Sumisingit ng IDLIP. So, IDLIP siya. So, if you can see, dalawa yung ginagawa ko para habang natutuyo yung isa, I can just not wait for it to dry para yung momentum ko sa pag-paint, I can just still paint and not wait for it. So, kaya dalawa yung ginagawa ko. Sayang kasi yung oras pag you wait for your painting to dry, tas wala ka nang gana mag-paint pag tuyo na. So, rather than just waiting for it to dry, dalawa na yung gagawin ko. Sayang yung momentum, guys. And for you guys na hindi nakakaalam ng momentum, well, mas magandang you have to keep your momentum na mag-paint. Bukod sa tipid sa oras, syempre, marami kang magagawa. Same goes with oil painting. When you're waiting for your oil painting layer to dry, pwede mo munang gawin yung isa pang oil painting, and then you can still have your momentum. So it's just like that. So what I'm doing now is I'm just applying the shadows, and then later I'm going to activate these shadows using just plain water. So if you guys tuned in earlier, you can see na I just did that with the other one. So since these are washable color markers, I can activate them with just water, plain water sa brush. So you'll see later on. So yeah, while I'm waiting for the other one that I activated the watercolors or waters to dry, I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, art mantra, yeah. So what's nice is you can also blend the colors you want. If you mix like 2 colors at once, you can just mix them with the color you want, with the first color and the second color. You can have amazing effects. So I'm going to activate the colors with just paint or with just water with my brush. So walang paint to, just water. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, tubig lang siya. So of course mas maganda yung you have to go from light to dark para less yung maghahalo sa kulay when you apply it with your brush. So nung ko yung mga flesh tones and lighter colors. So one thing that my rule in watercolor painting or any wet media is don't judge it when it's wet. So kung ano man yung itsura niya habang basa siya, it's not the final thing. So I have to wait for it to dry para hindi siya para niyo ma-judge kung kailangan pa niya ng additional effects or colors. So, tanong ni Nico, is it hard to blend multiple brushes with different colors consistent? Hard to blend multiple brushes. Para kasing yung brush for me, it's depende yun sa kung anong gusto mong effect. So, depende sa brush. This one, it's really an old brush na. So, para na siyang sabog na yung dulo niya. Pero it's good just for blending the paint. Hindi siya yung tipong katulad nito na finer tip. So yeah, so parang you have to know your brushes. So kung ano yung bagay sa task na you want to do or the effect that you want to create with it. And then for the colors, it depends din kung anong klaseng kulay yung ginamit mo. Like for this one, it's washable markers. So it's perfect. You don't have to apply too much pressure. But when you're using like watercolors, you have to, yun nga, papakiramdaman mo din yung how it blends. Watercolor is different for example, gouache, yung behavior nila, and also opaqueness. So the secret is to use them all at one point para you can know what attitude or what personality, if that makes sense, the paint or color has. So I hope I answered your question, Nico. kasi what I use is I use mixed media, so different colors like acrylic, sorry, actually walang acrylic dito. It's more of gouache, watercolor, color, call that poster color. Yung poster color sobrang ano niya, ganda niya guys. So you have to try poster color at least once in your artworks if you're using paper media. Dati akala ko watercolor at gouache lang yung maganda. So you try gouache, poster color. So nilito pa rin ako sa kanila, pero new discovery ko yun. Try nyo. Parang na-discover ko yung sa Ghibli. Parang sabi ng wife ko, yung ginagamit yata nila, kasi we watched a Studio Ghibli documentary recently. Tapos sabi ko dun sa wife ko, nakita ko kasi sa desk ng isang artist na ano yung ginagamit nilang color pag paint, parang hindi yan yung ginagamit natin. Tapos sabi niya, ay na yata yan poster color. Sabi ko, talaga? Tapos tinesting ko, bumili ko ng isang batch. Pucha, ang ganda. So if you want, like, kaya ganun ka titingkad and gaganda yung mga sa Ghibli na anime, I think they're using poster colors for their background. So try it out, guys. Okay, next question. Si Nico ulit, what art material is best for your art? Sa akin yung for me, yun nga, like I said, I use mixed media. So I use watercolor, gouache, just to give you an idea. I use 3: watercolor, gouache, and like I said, poster color. And just to give you a side note here is my my palette. So if you can see, madami siyang paint. Halo-halo na yung blue, gouache, watercolor, or poster color. Iba-ibang brand din. May Rembrandt, may Van Gogh, Reeves, anything. So pagka, yun, halo-halo na sila. So I can easily mix and match the colors I want. Yung mga blues, kahit maghalo-halo sila, blue pa rin sila, brown, orange. So there you go. That's my and this one, yung palette ko, I just combine this, yung mga nabibili sa SM na lalagyanan. So bumili lang ako ng 12 nun, and then yung gitna, syempre water. So you can easily construct your own palette. Parang di ako nakokontento dun sa palette lang na nabibili, kasi they're sobrang limiting nun para sa akin, sa dami nung ginagawa ko. And minsan pag malaki na yung pinipaint mo, mauubusan ka ng paghahaluan ng paint. So yeah, I came up with that. At the same time, hindi nasasayang yung paint, kasi nakukulong lang sila doon sa dito, nagpupul lang sila sa baba, and then you can just mix them. If you want dark yellow, you can use dark yellow. So there's a lot of experimentation, and you can get results when you actually try things out pagdating sa art. So for this one, like ito, hahalo ko lang yung gagawin ko yung shadow niya sa ilalim. So I'm just gonna mix the black and a bit of whatever yellow I have here. So then just gonna do that here. So hindi siya all black, may pagka dark yellow siya to represent the asphalt or semento ng Maynila. So I'll go ahead and do another black here. So bukod sa, of course, bukod sa watercolors and paint media, for this one I also use like color markers, Faber-Castell. Ito, mga Crayola. And other stuff. But I also use like highlighters, so 𝘼𝙍𝙀. So, yeah, if you look at my work, you can see na medyo kakaiba yung kulay niya compared sa mga dating watercolor works because I mixed them up using new paint or new materials that no one has used yet, I think. Pero I think may mga gumagamit naman yun. Pero I mean, sa type ng art style ko, parang I seldom see noon or ngayon na gumagamit ng 𝘼𝙍𝙀 sa artworks nila. So it's really refreshing to see kasi wala pa masyadong gumagamit. So that's why it stands out a bit. Kakaiba siya tingnan. And I really like it kasi may mga ganyang kulay tayo sa real life. So yeah. So if you see here, if you look at this one, this is the already dried. So dalawa siya, diba? So what I did is, so binasa ko na to, inactivate ko yung color, and then this one is just activated. You saw that. So ito naman gagawin ko kasi tuyo na to. So I didn't waste any time waiting. I can just paint again. May medyo basa pa siya pero I think it's good na. So that was 1, 2, and then third layer yung water. So fourth layer na to paint. Okay, so lalagdagan ko lang siya isa pang layer para medyo magka-body yung tricycle colors. Usually it takes like 6 or 5 to 6 or more layers minsan, depende sa pinipaint. So yeah, we'll be here for a while. More than 2 hours siguro. Sana umabot yung battery ng phone ko. So you might be asking bakit inuulit ko pa yung ibang stuff. Well, because pagka inactivate mo siya ng colors or ng water, yung Crayola markers, it sometimes it spreads out, nagiging one sila sa ibang kulay, so nagiging thinner yung color. So the best thing I can do is to emphasize the first layer with another layer. So at least hindi siya yung sobrang naghalo sa iba, spread out. Parang may body pa din siya. But the basic idea is having 2 layers at least para buong buo yung kulay niya sa ilalim nung paint. So it's really parang may 3D effect siya if you do that. Ayun, so Nico asked, what was the biggest artwork you made? Well, madami na akong nagawang malaki kasi I used to work with murals then. So in that regard, madaming mga walls. I forgot yung pinakamalaki. Pero if I'm going to answer it sa painting, I think the biggest one I've made so far is sa oil paint, let's just say na lang. Is my thesis na painting. I think it's 130 inches. sa length, and then sa height, I think 6 feet by 130 inches. Parang ganyan. Kasi parang 10 inches yung isang painting. Tapos pinagduktong-duktong siya. So, 130 by 13 paintings. Parang ganyan. Pero, meron ako isang buo na, I think, 8 feet by 5 feet. Pero sa watercolor, I think the biggest one I've made is yung Bloom and Treat. I guess, that's, anong size na mami? 4 by 3 by 4 feet. Tapos medyo mas siya, detail sa compared sa iba kong ginawa. Sa current style ko yun Yan. So, yun I think pinakamalaki ko so far na ganitong style. Yung Bloom, yung bird's eye view nung Bloom and Treat palengke wet market. So yeah, I think that was one. So I also use this like Ergo Pro markers, just sparingly, because I don't know if they last that long, pero at least it gives just a bit of a highlight or dark or shading sa skin tone, pero at least meron na siyang paint underneath, so even if it dries out throughout its life, hindi siya sobrang kukupas. It's more of si alcohol based compared to sa water based. So if you look at this, I'm emphasizing those shadows then with this. So yun nga, magmumukha lalo siyang 3D. But I don't really need to activate it once I've done the activation once with water, because masyado na siyang magbablat naman. So this just to yung unang activation, yung parang magkakaroon lang sa loob talaga ng paper yung water, yung blending ng kulay at yung water sa loob ng papel. That's the purpose of it. Para isipin nyo yung paper nyo, it's just white pag wala pang paint. Pero pag pinatong nyo yung paint, may paint siya pero hindi pa siya sa loob na loob. But when you activate it with water, papasok talaga sa loob ng paper yung paint. So like right now, I'm painting on, like for this one, I'm painting on green paper, kung baga. So yung second layer niya, or third, or fourth if you may, para siyang additional na lang. So it makes a lot of difference then if you compare the two na hindi pa inactivate. Yeah, well, you can easily backtrack yung video if you wanna see how it looks like without activation. I also use this koi coloring brushes. These are really nice. Parang brush yung dulo niya, so it's really nice na ang dali nang spread ng color. Another thing is yung pag inactivate niyo yung paint, tapos natuyo siya. It would look like if you add the original marker, it would look like it has 3 different parang layers, or it would look like may shade siya ng gray na at least 2 to 3 shades of gray, kasi maglalighten yung inactivate nyo na paint with water. So it would look like ang dami yung shades of gray even if you only just had one, kasi pinanipis ng kulay ng tubig yung kulay. So yeah. So with this one, it's almost the application of paint halos matatapos na siya. So the next thing is after this one is highlights. So it's a really it's a different game pag highlights na. So I'm just gonna finish this up. So kung ito yung base niya with paints, let me just add a few things here. Ibang-iba siya pagka pagka gumamit kayo ng stuff na pang highlight sa kanya. At least for me, I guess. So, just to let you know, meron akong reference dito. So, ito yung unang-una kong ginawa. 2017 ko pa siya ginawa. And then, that's the basis of all of these IDLIP paintings that I'm doing. So, I guess more than 20 na yung nagawa ko. So, here it is. And then, yun. Siya yung kinokopyahan ko yung kulay na ginamit ko nung first time pa. Here. So, we're not yet there, but we'll be there soon. So, yun nga. Next natin is yung highlights. So I'm using this pen. It's called 𝘼𝙍𝙀 𝘼𝙇, or from, I think, yeah, 𝘼𝙍𝙀. It's just white. Siyang gel pen pero white. It's really good. So what I'll do is, ginagamit ko to. Inuuna ko yung flesh tone. Kasi syempre yung mga tao yung bida dun sa paintings nyo or ko. So sila yung my best emphasis. And if you can see na I'm just doing this, then later I'll activate that with water then. So what I'm doing right now, or what I'm going to do is I see that yung mga flesh, wala pa siya masyadong shadows. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of shadows there. So ayan, I'm using a finer brush for that. So ay napansin ko, kulang pa siya ng shadow. So lalagyan ko muna siya ng shadow. Kasi you have to have shadows first, and then tsaka mo i-add yung highlights para nasa taas na layer yung highlights. So I'm just using, I'm not using the markers anymore. I'm using gouache and watercolor here. Or I don't even know, kasi halo-halo na sila din sa palette ko. But the idea is I'm just gonna spread this out para medyo siya, kitang-kita yung highlights later on. So since nandun yung highlights na white, pagka nagalaw ko siya with the brush, tinamaan siya ng brush, magmi-mix sila automatically. So what I'll do is I'll I'll mix them para halong-halo talaga sila. Like, they're just one with the paint. So, para makikita mo parang nabubura siya. It's actually being mixed with the paint.
The boss baby is milk.
Hi, Mister. Wanna watch?
I'm watching you.
So like I said earlier, don't judge watercolor when it's wet. So yan, makikita niyo tong mga to. If binasi ko yung parang I can actually sense kung okay naman to kasi I've been using it for a while. So, but right now it looks like parang ay bakit gano'n? Pero eventually magmumukha na siyang okay later. Kahit parang nag-guess, alam ko na or I have a good guess on how it would look like when it's dry. So yun lang siguro yung masasabi ko tungkol sa itsura niya ngayon. And the best thing about this is you can always, you know, with a lot of paints, you can always go back and add more or add white and then, you know, add more color or shadows again. So yeah, I think it's actually going really well with this one. Parang if you can see the white paint that I applied earlier, na under niya yung shadows. So they would look like it's an underpaint, diba? If you guys know what that means, yung parang nasa ilalim siya in-apply ng white. Para siyang glazing, right? So I don't know if I can zoom this, but I'll try. Oh, nasa-zoom pala siya. So I hope you can see that. Yeah. So like I said, you can just mix that, and I'm also using the white sa gouache. And this is gouache. I'm using that para matulungan pa yung white na nandito. So I'm just really spreading or mixing a lot of mediums, gouache, watercolor, the gel pen. And if you look at it, parang kang kumakain ng kanin. Alam mo, meron kanin, may ulam, pero alam mong masarap yung kinakain mo by the taste. So it's, my analogy for this is, yun nga, meron kang sense na, ano ba yung masarap pagsamahin? French fries, burger, soft drinks. So you have to have an idea. Hindi ka naman magsisinigang at saka burger, diba? So parang, just have to know what mixed medias are best that goes with each other. And you only know if you paint a lot. So malalaman mo lang yun instinctly pagka kamali ka na ng marami beses. So best thing you can do is, you know, just to practice a lot with your paints. So yeah, so let's just keep that skin tone for now. Oy, thank you, Nico. Kanina hindi ko na-realize na maganda palang i-zoom in or pwede pala siya. So yeah, so the best thing I can do now before adding the final highlights is say something. Okay. I'll try this one first. Ayan, pwede naman siya. So, same with the skin tone procedure. Do the shadows first and then highlights. So, may shadows na siya. And I can do the highlights. So you can see it's minsan hindi ko nagagalawin yan eh. Hindi ko na siya i-activate kasi it looks good na for me, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. For the other ones, I can still add highlights with it. And one more thing I also use this. So it's a it's a anti-clog snowflake. So I can use this for very yung sobrang tingkad na ilaw. So, I've never used this on this artwork yet before, but just to show you guys, it just meant that sobrang matingkad yung ilaw dun, kaya sobrang kinang yung ano. And yeah, it's also good for metal. So yung sa tricycle, diba? Bakal yun. So it's good for broad strokes like that. Pero use it sparingly kasi ayaw mo naman sobrang glistening yung artwork mo. But I actually like to make my artworks shine a bit kasi usually kadalasan ng mga paintings ko, it's taken from picture that I took outside or outdoors. So yung ilaw talaga sobrang tingkad, siyempre maaga or umaga, maano yung ilaw. So right now I'm just doing this like I'm just copying the highlights from my previous or from my what do you call this, original artwork. So I don't need to emphasize on the other stuff. And this is also good. This pen is also good for erasing mistakes. So pag may sumobrang watercolor, you can just, cover it up. Just make highlights like that, like individual highlights. Nanonood sa akin ngayon yung anak ko dito sa gilid. He's curious. So for example, you can also do some details with this one. For example, over here, so parang yung yung kadena ng tricycle. Pwede mong isa-isahin yan.
What?
Tapos parang kung ano man yung nag-mix na kulay na doesn't really belong with each other, you can just daanan mo ng puti. So it's like an eraser. But if you activate it, you can still erase the part that you highlighted.
Tatandaan mo sa gusto mo nakita yan sa mga.
Hmm?
Tatandaan mo ba? Gusto mo nakita yan sa mga.
Oh, sa etong guy na to, natanong ng wife ko kung naalala ko pa kung saan ko to nakita. I think dyan to sa ano yun, malapit sa amin sa may sa may Mariano Ponce na mga nag-iintay ng pasahero doon na jeep. Ay, sorry, tricycle.
Elementary.
Yeah, dyan sa school, di ba, meron dyan pagka papunta sa Bloomington. So, I think kung yun yung tama na tatandaan ko, hindi ko to kilala personally na driver. Sa dami nang na-paint ko, hindi ko alam, hindi ko kabisado yung mga, kung saan ko na, may idea lang ako pero I'm not really 100% sure. Unless tinignan ko ulit sa picture. Pero I'm mostly certain na si Manong na taga dyan yung etong guy. So may tanong sabi ni Nico, the white highlights gave the colors more emphasis and made your work more alive. Yeah, thank you. Salamat. Yeah, yun nga. Kasi parang yun yung magic, I think, yung highlights. If flat masyado yung paint sa kahit anong painting, oil paint, watercolor, if you don't have highlights, para siyang yun nga, flat or patay, para siyang walang spirito, parang sa Coke pagka sumigaw yung spirit, parang ganun, flat na flat siya. But the best thing I can do after this highlights, medyo yan natin kung umabot tayo, is adding yung last layer, and that's yung inks. So if you can remember, sa umpisa nito, it's just ink. Yung parang photocopy lang kasi yung inks neto eh. So that's why I can repeat the painting over and over again. Kasi inuulit ko yung pagka-print ng outline niya. So what I can do as a last na part ng painting is adding outline. So I think I can do it now, pero babalikan ko muna si Manong kasi medyo pa siya, faded yung dating niya. So it's not good enough for me. So babalikan ko pa siya isang beses. So if you don't yung contrast siya, pero hindi pa siya sobrang dark. So lalagyan ko rin siya ng I'm going to deviate dun sa original na painting color. So I'm using this red, if you can see. This one is poster color, so medyo neon-y na poster color siya, pero I like it. And I'm going to apply that sa skin tone, so you can see na how it affects the skin din. Mumukhang dugo yung sa ilalim ng balat yung neon, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Parang buhay.
Para buhay siya, diba? Meron siyang parang, alam mo yun, totoong tao yung nakita mo, parang gano'n. Thank you, Shane Alves, for that compliment. So, Nico asks, did you take pictures muna sa mga subjects before you render it to art? Yes, lahat ng Manila Ukiyo-E na artworks ko ay may mga photo reference ako sa kanila. So, I take pictures kasi a lot, mga anything sa streets na nakita ko kasi I like taking photos eh. So yung start kasi nito, we had to paint, had to participate sa isang event sa Art Mart BGC. Then yung wife ko and I were thinking about how we can create artworks na sobrang madali lang sa amin or simple lang. So I thought of this technique, pero I didn't have any subjects in mind that time. Parang ayoko na mag-paint ng elephants, ayoko na mag-paint ng comic characters. I wanted to do something different. So, sinearch ko yung archives ko ng pictures sa PC ko, sa computer ko. And then I was able to find, may mga pictures pala ako ng mga tao na kinunan ko. Wala lang, mga nagtitinda ng yosi, natutulog sa jeep or sa tricycle, ganito. So that's what I said na gusto kong i-paint itong mga to kasi I took the pictures without having, hindi ko naman pinlanong i-paint sila, pero I guess subconsciously I did kasi painter ako. Pero I just took pictures kasi I take pictures na talaga for reference for comic books that I make. And then yun nga, parang, so yeah, we needed a subject to paint for something to sell sa Art Mart the next day. So nakita ko mga pictures ng mga tao na I took. And then yun nga, so nung pinaint ko sila, yan, ganito siya. Ganitong technique, ganitong style. It was a first for me. And then once I finished that, kinabukasan, binenta namin siya or sinubukan namin siya ibenta sa public market or sa BGC Art Mart. Nakabenta ako agad. Parang mura lang siya kasi paperwork, tapos maliit lang. And then I started to do it a lot more. And then nabibenta lagi, as in halos nauubos yung mga painting. So I just kept at it. But going back to your question, Nico, it's based from pictures. So afterwards, since ilan lang yung pictures ko ng tao nung that time siguro mga 5 lang or I guess 7 yung pinaint ko nung first batch. Kasi mga konti lang naman yung pictures ko ng tao. May mga pictures ako ng animals, ng mga lamppost, landscape, ganyan, mga bagay. Pero yung tao, after maging successful nung first batch, ever since, puro tao na lang yung kinukuha. Well, hindi naman, pero karamihan, like 90% tao na yung mga pinpicturean ko pag nasa labas ako. So, I guess, I painted na siguro, last time I checked kasi may bago akong nilabas earlier today. So I painted 303 na Manila Ukiyo-E artworks, and all of those have a photograph counterpart. So what I mean is, nakita ko lahat sila in person, and then I took pictures of them, and yun, nag-isa lang painting. So yeah, lahat ng makikita niyong pinipaint ko in this style, I really saw them in person, kahit gaano ka-absurd yung nakikita nyo. I seldom mix and match, yung parang nag-iimbento ko ng kwento dun sa ano. Parang siguro once or twice or 3 times ko palang nagawa yun. And it's for, minsan it's because, parang pinaghalo ko yung pictures after. So kaya ko siya pinaint ng ganun. So it's more of like that. Hindi siya sobrang fabricated. So it's really, kaya medyo relatable siya, some people say. Kasi nga, yung pinipinta ko is yung nakikita talaga natin everyday na mga tao. So yeah, kaya siya ganun. So I think this is good, pero sige, I'm just gonna try to paint a little more dark. This is skin tone. Kasi Pinoy parang mga Pinoy may mga dark skin tayong kapatid It's okay. It's okay sa atin. So I can actually go again with the highlights later on with this. Parang it's an endless like dance for highlights and shadows for me. Because yun nga, minsan konti pa or nabura siya with mixing the colors, yung highlights. So na-mix siya. So I have to go again with the highlights and then shadow ulit. Pero the best thing about it is you can just add stuff with your painting. You're the boss. You're practically God when you're painting. Ikaw yung magdidikta kung maganda yung paint mo, or let's say tapos na siya, or you can always add stuff, or in some cases you can even remove stuff. Pero for the most part, you can just...
So yeah, lahat ng makikita yung Philippine in this style, I really saw.
So, ayun, parang meron siyang meron kang control dun sa narrative with the use of paint in your artworks. So yeah, so if you can see yung difference niya with the other one, so I'm just gonna zoom out. So yeah, ito yung una na isa without the highlights and shadows. Then this is the other one. So if you can see medyo yung contrast niya, diba? So malaki yung contrast. So I don't think I can finish this isa, pero I'm gonna finish this one for you guys so you can see I finished it. Para naman you can see a final artwork with that I've done. Okay. So, Nico ulit asked, so sabi niya, ano yung pinakamadited na Manila Ukiyo art ko? Yeah, for me, personally, yung Bloom and Treat, wala akong picture dito pero yun yung pinaka-detail ko na painting. Actually, I can show you. So yeah, so I recently released a book. It's called We Are All Time Machines, and yung sinasabi mong detailed art, it's this one, yung Bloom. So it's the cover. And yeah, this book is with the artwork and poetry. So I also write poems. So yun siya. So it's here. Ito siya. So it's 2 by 3 feet. So it's no. It's 3 by 4, I think, yung feet niya. So ganun siya kalaki. Pero syempre maliit lang dito. Pero sobrang detail niya. As in, yan, my hometown, Blumentritt. So, daming, parang siyang worst Wally, they say. Or, Larry Alcara nga daw. Pero, I was just inspired by my fellow Blumentritt people. So, yeah, if you can find yung mandurukot dyan, I'll give you a free copy of this. So, just look for this one on my Facebook, Manila Ukiyo-E Facebook page. No kidding, if you can see, if maturo nyo sa akin yung mandurukot dun, bibigyan ko kayo ng copy nito. So yeah, sorry, shameless plug. So okay, I think this is a bit dry na. So next layer, I think this will be the last layer. I'll do the inks again. So with the inks, I use the Rotring 3 or 0.30. So 0.3. So it's really good for illustration art. So gumamit kayo ng tissue kapag gumagamit kayo nito kasi it might smudge or minsan nagbi-build up yung watercolor na nasasagap niya with that. So yeah, just gonna ink this one. So the way I ink is I ink the whole thing again. So parang dinodrawing ko siya ulit with the inks. So, para ko siyang, iulitin ko yung lahat ng inks na nandito. Halos ulitin ko siya. So, medyo basa pa dito. So, I'm just gonna start here. And, what this does is actually it makes it, like Nico said earlier, if the highlights give it more emphasis, and then it looks more alive. This one, inking it, would make it more, for me, more illustration-y looking, pero parang mas grounded siya. I don't have a term for it, pero mas maganda siya for me pagka in-ink ko kasi it's not an oil painting. So sa oil painting, 'di ba, you guys wala siyang outline. Pero with an illustration or mixed media like this, parang I think magandang may highlight siya and may outline siya pa din. So yeah. So maganda siyang may highlights. Or sorry, may outlines pa rin. So thank you guys for tuning in. Madami pa tayong ipipaint next time, but yeah. I'm still finishing this one, so salamat sa panonood nyo right now while tuning in. So, yeah. So I'm just gonna paint yung mga sa tingin ko needs to be outlined again para hindi nabura yung outline sa ilalim. So, right now, I can see na, may hindi pa ako na-paint dito na parts. So, I can just easily add some detail with the colors. Like that. So, yeah. Minsan may mga lagpas, pero minsan you can forgive yourself for that. Kasi, it's a painting. Pwede kang magkamali. Oh, you're welcome, Nico. So yeah, so you can also hide minsan lumalagpas nga, diba, like I said. You can also hide them with the outline. You can just make it thicker. Pero yun, it also emphasizes yung outline or re-outlining. It also emphasizes the structure of the artwork or the subject or the materials yung parang yung pinipinta mo meron siyang nabubuo siya, hindi siya floating, kumbaga parang kakabody palalo siya. So, this is my first time to stream something. So, I'm glad na may mga nanood. And hopefully, maulit ko pa to. So, let me know your feedback so I can improve my streams next time. It's just a spur of the moment. Parang sabi ko, mag-stream kaya ako. Testing ko. Meron naman akong camera ngayon. So, sa phone. So, why not? Sinubukan ko and then here we are. So I'm glad na may mga nanonood kahit sobrang unscheduled or unannounced siya. I hope you guys learned something today with this. And who knows, baka magpaint pa ako on bigger projects with the streaming. So it might not be just one sitting, pero it's great na you guys can see my process na I can do it in one sitting. Sige, message kita later, Nico. Pero astig yung message mo. Siguro sobrang inspired ko ngayon dahil yung wife ko kanina, pinagluto niya ako ng chicken pandan. And sobrang favorite ko yung pandan na amoy. Parang sa kanin, sobrang sarap niya. So, pag ginawa mo pa siyang ulam, mas masarap. So, I guess kaya ako sobrang na-inspired today because nagluto siya ng gano'n na sobrang sarap. Muntikan ko na siyang maubusan. Ayun, may question si Nico. So, sorry. I appreciate your art style and the technique. Thank you. Yeah, meron nga ako kasing mga YouTube videos, pero I seldom say anything in the videos para kasing time-lapse yung video. And I don't know if I could narrate anything interesting if it's not if it's scripted or if it's really spontaneous or pre-recorded yung stuff. So I guess this is more casual. I think more comfortable ako sa ganito. And I would not have known that kung hindi ko tinry. So that goes to show na when you try stuff, you get to know yourself. So yeah. So parang you can just have the courage to try stuff. Minsan may mga ayaw kang gawin, like yun nga, ayaw kong mag-record over yung mga time-lapse videos sa YouTube ng audio na nagsasalita ako. I don't know why, pero parang ewan ko, medyo baka hindi ko alam sasabihin ko na ulit-ulitin ko lang, or I'm not entirely sure what I'll say about them. So I guess this one is much better. And may mga nag-request na rin sa akin before na they say na you should narrate over the videos. Parang sige, sabi ko. Pero this is the first time I've done it. And yun nga, mas comfortable pala ako sa live. I don't know why. So as I go on, you can see na I'm still coloring some stuff that I missed from the first go. And that's very ano tawag ito? Yeah, it's very normal to do that. Kasi ay, mayroon pala akong na-miss. It's okay. You don't have to be a perfectionist sa ganitong klaseng procedure or field at times. Like I said, you're basically God in your own painting. Pero you have to have godlike skills din para mapapractice mo yung magandang art talaga na you really see in your mind when you're painting it. I guess it's more applicable sa writer stuff, yung God terminology ko. Or analogy, sorry. So yeah, so if you can see, yung left side niya, it's more like, gano'n na siya, diba? Parang like solid siya. Compared to the other part, it's yan, ito medyo solid siya. And then this one is para siyang cell shaded pa lang, and then this one has the outline pag sa anime. So it's like that. I guess good food is the juice of upskilling the art. Yeah, that's true, Nico. Yeah, sobrang nasarapan ako. Pati yung, di ba binabalot yung chicken pandan ng pandan leaves? Pati yun ginaya ako, sobrang kinatas ko yung leaves ng lasa ng chicken. I don't know. Maybe that's normal or anything, but I really like the juices that it parang nga siya lumabas eh. So, well, I had to, hindi ko naman nilunok yung pandan leaves. Pero halos lahat ng leaves na pinagbalutan ng chicken. Hey, Mailstorm! What's wrong? Kinain ko yun. Hindi ko kinain, pero ginawa ko siyang parang chewing gum. Pero sarap niya. I don't know what my wife will say after she hears that. Ay, saglit lang guys. Yes, Norm. Alright, I'm back. So yeah, it's just keeping it tidy with this one. So it's parang yun nga, re-outlining. So I hope this is dry. So Ito pala isa pang important thing. You can have just an ordinary piece of paper, then fold it, and then fold this half. Para you can just apply it like that. And then, patungan nyo ng kamay while you're doing other stuff sa other parts ng painting. Because, minsan nagsasmudge eh. Minsan, pawis yung dito mo. And the sweat activates the watercolor again. So, it ruins the painting. So, it's better na you have what I call a shield. Shield for the painting. So, simple paper. You don't have to have anything fancy. Yung iba, they use the gloves. So, that works. But, minsan masasmudge pa rin. So, mas maganda na paper. For me, I guess yung mga gloves, I think they use it for pen tab, for inkers, or something like that. But this one, minsan kasi talagang basa yung paint. So, you have to use like watercolors. Or sorry, this kind of technique to shield your work. And then you can see na, if basa pa talaga siya, you can see some paint na kumakapit dito afterwards. So this is also parang the outline. It also helps you it also helps me yung mga natabunan na outline ng mga paints. Just do it again so that hindi sayang yung unang outline, defining the artwork more. So yeah, so sometimes it's very repetitive if you think about it, but it really is worth it afterwards kasi may ibang klaseng feel siya when you finish it entirely.
Afterwards kasi may
Sorry, nag-crash yung ano ko. So I guess next time I'll try to schedule this para people won't be surprised na, uy, meron palang or mas madami makaalam ng next na kung may next pa na ganito. So I hope may manood ulit. So it's really nice talking to people na are interested in making their own art and making other stuff related to the related to the techniques similarly that I'm using. green. Yes. Oh, don't touch that, huh? So basically, yung mga live stream na to will depend pag nagnanap na yung baby namin or yung anak namin, hindi na pala siya baby, 4 years old na siya. So that medyo tahimik. Pero it's okay naman, it's not bothering us. Pero minsan kasi na nangungulit siya. So I have to tell him to behave. Pero he's actually curious right now, looking at the painting. Ayun, lumabas siya ngayon. So if you guys see this and hear what I'm going to ask, let me know next time what artwork you'd like me to paint na Manila Ukiyo-E guys. Hindi yung Mona Lisa or I mean, may mga artworks ako before na I think you've seen, I posted. As long as I can paint it, let me know if you guys have a favorite that you'd like me to paint live. So yeah, kung ano yung mas gusto nyo, syempre mas gusto kong i-paint yun. So yeah, let me know. Comment nyo lang dito sa video or message me or whatever. Just let me know para at least meron ko idea. Of course, yun yung mga medyo kaya ng one day. Pero minsan, actually one day kaya naman kasi tapos na yung outline eh. So I just have to paint it. And hopefully, you have the patience then to watch it. So yeah. I guess I can do the next one if okay lang sa inyo or wala pang mag-suggest. One thing to watch out is yung sa LRT. Forgot the title, yung Antay. So it's a couple of people waiting for the LRT to come sa Ortigas yata or sa EDSA. So I'll try to do that next if no one opposes. It's really a good painting. It's really one of the best sellers that I have. So if you can hear me nicely, that's okay. Please let me know then sa comments. If you don't hear me at all, kung mahina, let me know then so I can adjust next time. Bibili ko ng Rode mic or bigyan niyo ako. Pero yeah, I think I'll invest on that para medyo pro yung dating natin. So I'm really having fun kasi right now. So I guess I'll do this again, and at least pagka may sinabi ko, you can hear it clearly. But for now, let me know so at least I can, you know, pag habang wala pang mic, I can just do with what I have right now. And I can continue. So I'm just going to paint the outlines first here. So you can see na, I hope you can see na medyo nananaginip si Mami sa expression niya. But for me, I'm still going to go another batch of paint sa face niya. But I'm just going to also wait for the ink to dry kasi medyo notorious ang ink pag binasa mo siya agad pag medyo hindi pa siya set. Ahawa siya. So let's wait for that to dry. I'm just gonna finish up with the other outlines here. And yeah, I hope you can see the difference. Yung ink outlines or re-inked outlines. So yeah, medyo full na full talaga yung pagka-outline. So if you can notice, I'm not really, hindi ko lahat ini-ink. Yun lang talagang medyo nabura yung outlines. Because you really don't have to do everything if you're me. Kasi meron naman na siyang unang outline. And it's really pretty, it's pretty distinct na on its own if hindi naman siya natabunan ng paints. And yeah, it's not a bother if it's more of a bother if you just ink all of them pag hindi naman siya necessary. Para it doesn't actually change a lot. What's important is yung mga nabura talaga, yun yung ini-ink ko. And I hope you can also apply this technique. I don't know if people do this. So usually itong technique na to, it's more of a comic book artist technique, yung inking, diba? So either the painter just paints it and then yun yung last layer niya, but for me it's kind of illustration-y and more of a hybrid of styles for me. Mahilig kasi ko sa comics, Marvel Comics, Image Comics. So those are my inspirations in making this, and of course syempre yung Japanese ukiyo-e, anime, manga, Pinoy life. So I'm just gonna mix the other outline, or sorry, highlights, so it would look more natural. There you go. So I guess may konti pa sa face ni Kuya. So I'm just gonna add last of the last. Para may definition ng konti yung fulcrum niya. So let's I think it's good to zoom in on this and not my forehead. There you go. So, sige, let's try this. Pakita niyo yung detail. So, if you can see, parang halos tinabunan na natin yung unang layers niya ng like other stuff. Pero that's the thing with layers. It's layers. So, madami siyang layers talaga. Ibig sabihin, masyado siyang, or madami siyang parang floors of paint. And that gives it more life, more depth to it. It gives it a more depth. So I'm still gonna mix that para medyo ano siya, more natural like looking. So I'm gonna go the extra mile for this piece a bit. Going to apply another layer of whites. Kasi sometimes I really don't know yung step-by-step process ko. I forget na, meron pala itong ganitong layer. Kasi I really don't keep track of how I paint stuff. I just copy my own paintings, if that makes any sense. By eye, not by numbers. So, if I say I go the extra mile, parang dadagdagan ko pa siya isang layer ng white, but not this one, not this white. Gonna use another pen with the white ink, so you can really emphasize on more details with that. So this is what I'm going to use. So you can see na meron siyang white masking tape, so I can add, or sorry, that's my my mark, so that I know that this has white ink inside. So what I'm gonna do is just apply the white ink if it comes out. So madalas ito mag-clog. So what I do is, inaano ko siya. Repeatedly wet it and then just try to activate the white inside. Kasi minsan natutuyo ito agad eh. So for those guys who uses this kind of pen, yung rotring with the white rotring ink, you get this problem. But it's not really a problem. Okay, it's ready. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add more details to that so that it's really popping out. It really pops out. So, para meron konting-konti pang detalye. And I think people appreciate that because, hindi mo minadali yung painting, you have a lot of details, but that doesn't mean na porket marami kang details, maganda yung painting mo. It's just so happen na people appreciate that you took the time to paint that. Like I said, hindi naman porket maraming details yung painting mo, it's considered good or beautiful, pero it's what you paint as well. So like I said, for this one I painted, or what I'm saying is, for this one I painted tricycle. So para ma-appreciate ng mga tao, if I took the time to paint the details, like yung chain, nilagyan ko ng konting details. And you know, it's not really realistic per se yung approach ko dito or yung pag-depict ko doon. Pero if you can recognize what I painted or have done with the use of the details, I mean, you can say na, wow, bakit na talaga yun ng tricycle So, and that's the difference between, you know, attention to detail and just not caring kung ano yung nailagay mo dun sa painting. And for me, it makes a lot of big difference kasi na-appreciate ko yun na, okay, he took the time to do this. Kasi ang daming, hindi siya, tinamad na yung artist dun sa painting niya, so hindi niya na ginawa yun. Although, it also, may mga paintings na okay lang yun. It adds to the effect na medyo parang rush yung ginawa niya. Pero not all. Mas marami yung hindi maganda na minadali mo kaysa sa you took the time. Even yung mga bukang minadali, I think the artist who does or do that take their time to make it look done quick. They took their time to think about how to make it look like that in the first place, or nabagay yung mukha siyang minadali. So they took their time to think about that concept, and that's where they took their time. Hindi pa rin nila minadali yun. That's what I'm saying. Kahit mukha siyang minadali, kasi they took their time to think about a concept, a good concept. So okay, I think we're good with that. Pero may nakita lang akong konting kailangan pa ng dark, walang black outline. So like I said, this is a dance. You go back and forth with the details, paint and ink. Minsan natatabunan mo yung isa, naapakan mo yung paa ng isa, and then once it's all done, you can dance, man. You can just see the beauty of the artwork after mo mag back and forth dun sa trial and error. I think that's good. So let's go with the guy again. So earlier I said na medyo dapat yung emphasis nyo is yung nasa guy, yung nasa subject nyo, sa tao nyo. So in this part, maganda na may tricycle tayo dito. So pero maganda rin na we know kung sino yung bida. Yung ibig kong sabihin sa bida is kung sino yung main subject nyo. So ano ba, well of course bida rin naman yung tricycle, pero ang totoong bida dito is yung natutulog sa jeep, si Manong, di ba? So medyo parang iisa pa sila nung tricycle, parang bida yung jeep, bida yung tricycle, bida si Manong. So, mas magandang i-emphasize natin yung focus kay Manong. So, that would mean na isa pang layer si Manong. So, I think pang 7 layer na to. Pero, yun nga, like I said, it's a dance. So, you have to know when to stop. Pero you know how as well not yet to stop. Kasi, hindi pa tapos yung painting. So, lalagdagan natin siya ng konti pang detail. So again, I would like to thank na sa lahat ng nanood at nanonood. We're almost done here. And if you're watching this on your phone as a replay, if that's the correct term, kung mapapanood nyo to ng hindi live, let me know if ano yung gusto nyong artwork na ipinta ko na live next time. So I'm gonna announce that and schedule that so that you guys can be ready. And of course, I'll do that, I guess, either on a weekend or by surprise. Pero depende sa anong trip or mood ko that day. So, you can definitely see na may mga ano na siya, may highlights na siya, ganyan. Pero Manong deserves better. So, let's make him more realistic a bit. Para medyo angat siya. That's cool. So I'm deviating a bit dun sa original na model ko dun sa painting. Just because minsan you just have to paint what you feel like. Not necessarily you have to paint by numbers. So I'm looking at the clock and I see that 2 hours ago ko na-start itong stream. So I guess magti 3 hours siya na stream total time niya. Pero I was doing 2, so isa na lang tatapusin ko para hindi naman tayo umabot hanggang bukas. So if you don't know, typically I paint like that at least 12 hours a day. I have to at least 12 hours a day kasi ma-detail yung mga painting ko and I won't be able to finish anything with the artworks I'm scheduled to show or paint, mga commissions. I have to do it 12 hours a day or more. Minsan less kapag ka sobrang naglinis ako ng bahay or ng studio that day, sobrang pagod na ako, namalengke ko or ako yung nag-grocery. So minsan nakakapagod or milakad ako that day. So minsan less than 12 pero I see to it na I don't have an excuse to as in sobrang pagod ko bago ko hindi mag 12 hours, pero I see to it na kahit paano sa isang araw I have to paint something, kahit simula lang, kahit ito tapos na siya or isa lang matapos ko or kalahati lang ma-paint ko that day, umpisa lang as long as may naumpisahan ako kasi sayang yung araw na wala ka nagawa. And pagka kasi na sunod-sunod yung araw wala kang ginagawa, medyo nagiging tamad ka eventually. Parang mas madami yung tamad days kaysa sa sipag days. So it grows, man. Kapag sobrang natamad ka, lumalaki. It builds up. Mahirap pa lalong mag-paint ulit. So if araw-araw ka nagpe-paint, it's like doing an exercise. If you do it every day, it feels not normal if you're not painting. So that's my tip for you guys. And I think we're done. So just a bit of highlights na lang. So yeah, I think next time if I can do that, I'll try 12 hours kung kaya ng camera ko sa phone. Pero that would be absurd. So I'll try just once a while na more than, kasi minsan iba sobrang detailed na artwork. So let's see how long it would take. This is just a trial run, so I'll base it from this stream alone, from kung kaya natin ng ganun. But if it's more detailed, syempre mas matagal siya tapusin. So, but it's a good challenge, right? And you also get to see how I paint something difficult. So that's, for me, that's the best thing about it, is parang ako rin mapapanood ko yung sarili ko paano ko nagawa isang bagay. And kung may manonood, that's also a bonus na may manonood ng ganung klaseng art making. I think we're almost done here, or we're done here. Just a little bit more finishing touches. And as I wait for that to dry, I can So, ayan na siya. So, basically, it's almost done. Konti pa. Konti pang stuff. Pero, while I'm waiting for the skin to dry, I can put the signature here later. So, I can just put some a little bit more highlights. Sige. Gusto ko kasi makuha expression ni Manong na natutulog, tapos para siyang nananaginip. So parang sobrang deep sleep niya habang natutulog siya sa tricycle niya. Pero ganun talaga pag sobrang pagod kayo, right? Parang sobrang kahit saan ka pwede makakatulog ka kahit saan, basta masandal ka, sabi nga ng wife ko. Just like me. I think we're done. So a few highlights or colors here. I think we're done. Just wait for that to dry and we're almost, actually we're done. We are done. that's cool. So yeah, ito yung isa, of course. And then this is the other one. So ito yung halfway pa lang. And then this is the finished one. So if you can see, medyo mas ano siya, mas buo siya, right? In comparison with this one. So yeah, next time I'll do another one sabay din. Pero the reason that if you didn't catch it, the reason na sabay sila ko ginagawa is so that hindi sayang yung oras while drying. Since dalawa naman yung gusto ko talaga gawin, isa order, then isa commission, isa commission piece or order. Then the other one is a reserve for people would like to order again that artwork. So at least dalawa na yung nagawa ko. I'm using the same pens and hawak ko na yung pen, nagawa ko na isa. So, it takes more time, a bit, pero it actually saves more time, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's it. The last thing I have to do now is, of course, to sign the piece. And how I sign my work is put this here. You have to make sure na tuyo na yung painting para mapatunan ito. And luckily we have the shield. So yeah, it's like this. There we go. That's it. Wait. Never ending dance. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's done. Okay na siya, guys. It's finished. So yeah, I hope you guys like this stream. Sana may natutunan kayo. Next time, let me know what else would you like me to paint live. And don't forget to buy my new book, We Are All Time Machines, Art and Poetry book. So may poetry siya with the artwork. If you like poetry and art, it's one of the best things I've done as an artist and wannabe poet. So yeah, let's get this one. This is really cool. I really highly suggest it. Sa Instagram, or sorry, sa Lazada namin. Or just message me if you like to buy a copy. But that's it for now, guys. Like and subscribe, share, whatever. Like, share new video if you guys really learned stuff. And if you have questions, just message them in this video and I'll answer them on the next stream. I'll try to do this, guys, once a week. Para even if I'm not teaching at a art school or a college, you can learn pa rin online with my streams. So thank you, guys, and I hope you have a great day. And that's it for me. Bye. Have a great day.